So tell us a bit about the Shetland Livestock Marketing Group.
Shetland Livestock Marketing Group was formed in its most recent incarnation a few years ago as a cooperative for the benefit of the community. It's really probably is closer fit to an answer for the issues that Shetland has in terms of service provision for the agricultural industry. It principally deals with selling livestock and processing dead stock. So it operates a mart and it operates an abattoir. And it's found over the years that it's better to encourage trade through good service provision rather than try to engage in trade. We do marketing where we can, but it's generally the appreciation we get is in the service that we provide.
How many members do you have?
At this current moment in time, we have just over 300 members, mostly crafters and farmers, but I feel that that's quite a significant part of the local community.
How does the co-op work for its members?
The cooperative does its best to ensure that the services that are here today will remain here by being as responsible as it can be for making ends meet, basically. Shetland is a small producer in global terms, but the produce that it does contribute is good quality livestock, and as a result of that, it deserves a position in the national scheme of things. Shetland's produce tends to be fairly low in volume in the national terms, but what it does produce is a very unique product that some parts of the agricultural businesses actually profit very well out of fattening and selling various lamb and beef products from Shetland. Shetland has a very unique animal health scheme. Unique in European terms, whereby most of the most common animal diseases have been excluded from Shetland over the past 20 years. So we can offer purchasers of livestock a very unique opportunity to buy into what is the healthiest stock available in the UK. Shetland's had a long tradition of people going to the sea in boats, and the crews of boats were obliged to work together for the common good. And as far as SLMG is concerned, it occupies that same position where folk want to produce livestock for sale, and they recognise that it's only by cooperating in this manner that they can then bring those products to the marketplace and hope to achieve a sensible return for them. SLMG has a 50-50 agreement between us and Aberdeen and Northern Marts, whereby they agree to provide auctioneer services throughout the sales season. This is a fairly long-term agreement between the two cooperatives, which has served both cooperatives well and allowed us as the younger brother or smaller partner to be able to engage in the marketplace with one of the biggest players.
So how does the co-op actually work for its members then?
I suppose through the mart side of it, we have this arrangement with Aberdeen and Northern, which has worked, I think, really well. As a small independent mart, you struggle financially to cover the cost of all the sales and money coming in and out. So Aberdeen covered the most of that. They have a huge lot of expertise. We have a very good auctioneer that comes up every year from Inverness, Roy Mackenzie, who's an extremely good auctioneer, somebody we'd never find at a local level, and he's also has a greater understanding of what's on the mainland, what's happening, prices, people interested in Shetland sheep. So they bring an awful lot to the table, and I suppose the mart itself just brings the local expertise, an office, a good mart, and local yardsmen and all the rest to operate it. So it's bringing that to its members. I think if we didn't have a mart, I think Shetland would be a much poorer place for it. I think we have, as I say, there is other options as to what you can do with your livestock. There's a number of good people that come up for Aberdeenshire and buy a certain type of livestock, offer a very good price, and I mean it's excellent for their customers. But you always have this this livestock that nobody's as interested in, and I think that's where the mart kicks in all the time, that people will sell the easily sold stuff, and some obviously ship it straight to Thenston, straight to the market there, but there's always these sort of areas, everything's not doing well at the same time, and I think the marts allows people to, I would hate not to have a mart in terms of each year you go with your lambs and all the rest of it, and you're proud of what you've done, because as I say, you work alone for quite a number of months producing these things, and it's nice to turn up at the market. I think it's a focal point. They've got a wee cafe there, and it's a much more community-based thing again. I think they've done very well over the last few years to sort of find that. So I think again it's a focal point for the community, and as I've said, that the abattoir gives you an opportunity to market your produce locally, and possibly further afield in the future. There was that drive initially, that drive has maybe been slackened off a bit, but it can happen again in the future. The abattoir is operational, it's a good facility, it's reasonably cost effective, and it does, as I say, when you're isolated up here, if you have no opportunity, it can often take the very best of what you do away from you, and you simply have to put your sheep or cattle on the boat, and that's its only exit point. So I think it's offered diversity and it's offered opportunity. So I think it's difficult to quantify, but I think without it, Shetland would be a much poorer place agriculturally. I'm proud to be a member of it, and I'm proud to use the facilities and give an opportunity. As I say, I use the abattoir most of the year for a job I have on with a wholesaler here who buys lambs off me the whole year round if I have them. I use the mart to buy and sell, and to meet friends, you know, and as a place of what would you call it? I suppose it's the SAC are up there, the Harborough are up there. It's an agricultural sort of corner that usually if you go up there you'll meet somebody you know, and I sort of live in the outskirts of the town, so I'm not in contact with as many of the agricultural people as I would maybe like to be, but usually meet them up there.